Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to start off a new series where I'm going to be giving you guys tips and tricks to do with shooting stock footage and how you can best maximize your potential and your earnings capacity with stock footage. And hopefully you guys are going to find these tips useful. It'd be really good to get feedback on this. So if you do enjoy this video, if you want to see more videos like this, please let me know at the end of this video, because it's going to be great to sort of help you guys shoot better content and actually increase your revenue potential. So to kick us off at tip number one, I actually want to talk about what you shouldn't do when you get into making stock footage. So something that I did, and I know a lot of people did when they first got into this industry, was they just grabbed their camera and the nearest bit of equipment, whether that be like a tripod or a slider or something, and they went out without any real plan in their head, and they just shot rubbish. I'm talking, just use myself as an example here. I shot some grass, I shot some nice park benches against some lovely green hedges, got some good duck shots in there, and basically all of that stuff, I filmed that. It was HD, we're talking maybe 5-6 years ago now, and it has never sold. And I mean, it's perfectly sound, it's fine content, technically speaking. It was exposed okay, I did a nice little smooth tilt on the tripod, but the point is that everybody can shoot that, and everybody does shoot that coming into this industry. And the whole idea being, when you get into stock footage, that you should be, specializing on things that other people can't necessarily film. So let's say, for example, you live in Paris, in France. Me as an Englishman, as someone who lives over here, I can't easily go and film Paris. So it would be really good for you if you went out and actually got, things like government buildings and all the rest of it, tourist attractions, things that are uniquely Paris, uniquely French, and that is basically a niche that you can tap into along with other French shooters, but people, in other parts of the world can't. But it's pretty safe to say that everybody sort of, in Western Europe, America, places like that, Canada, Mexico, etc., everybody's got grass, everybody's got squirrels, everybody's got the same kind of common ducks. Sure, you can go and maybe film some rare ducks, but again, that's something that I've done and it's never sold. And basically, guys, there's nothing wrong with filming wildlife and filming things that are local to you, but you should try to think about filming things that are not easily accessible to everybody else. So just, for my first tip there, guys, it's basically, if everybody else can film it, it's probably not worth filming. Now, coming on for tip number two, guys, and this is sort of leaving off the first tip in terms of what not to shoot. Now we're going to actually talk about things that are more favorable to shoot. So something that is a good seller across the spectrum in stock footage is model released content. And I'm not just talking about the sort of stereotypical, very well known, business handshake shots. I'm not just talking about, Caucasian businessman smiling at camera. By all means, you can go and film those and they probably will have a good chance at selling. But I'm talking about filming unique things with models. And they can be all kinds of different things. I'm thinking, you've got obviously work professions. I've done a lot of really good stuff with a blacksmith, to give you an example. It was very unique and really had a good feel to the entire shoot. I had a lot of quality content there. But not only can you do sort of stereotypical stuff, but you can think about working with niche models. So you've basically got people who may be able to do a certain profession. I know in a couple of videos I cited potentially working with a clown, which I think would be really good. And you can also do that in a conceptual way. So to give you an example, you could perhaps have the clown dress up in a business suit, juggling the balls that he uses for his work. And that would probably look really strange, if the clown actually turned up at a party doing that. But for stock footage, that can have a really good commercial value because it can sell as conceptual stuff. So a shot with a clown wearing like a suit and juggling balls, etc., that could be a shot that could help conceptualize juggling business or juggling partners or juggling priorities at work. And all of those kind of different phrases are really good for the stock footage agencies. There's a lot of people looking for that kind of content. And we see this time and time again where they're saying that kind of stuff you know, it's not filmed enough, there's more demand for that. So if you can have access to those kind of people, perhaps, you know, maybe you know somebody who is really good at performing with fire. There's so much that you can do for that in a conceptual way that, you know, you could do, again, go down the business route with that, or, you know, go down the entertainment route, you know, all of that kind of stuff that you could do. There could be a potential religious element to it, and you can really help, you know, build your stock footage library and build a successful library by using stock footage featuring models in unusual ways. So coming in at tip number 3, guys, I've got make yourself a shot list, okay? And what I mean by that is develop yourself a list that you can use time and time again, regardless of what shoot you're on. So obviously for some shoots that's not going to apply, but let's say you do a lot of shooting with models. There is a very standard shot that sells very well in this industry, where you basically have a model look at the camera and smile. And that shot tends to be a really good seller because it's used in a very conceptual way by a lot of different businesses. And that's one shot that you can get time and time again, regardless of whether you're working with, you know, a child or, you know, a man or woman, regardless of their age, their ethnicity, etc. It's a really good shot. Maybe they're wearing a business suit. Maybe they're wearing, you know, like a blue collar outfit. Maybe they're wearing like a boiler suit, a clown outfit, for example, a clown smiling to camera. I'm sure that's going to sell. Bonus points if he's got his suit on. But you get what I'm saying, guys. And you can even do the same thing if you've got like a really well-trained pet. And not only can you sort of develop shots that you want to get time and time again. So for example, one that I do is I'll often film a person's hands doing something, whether that is texting or doing something with their profession, for example. I'll always make sure to try and get a shot of their hands and close-up details that are important. You can do things like, you know, a close-up where you're just looking, you know, at the eyes, and maybe, you know, you could get a shot where the eyes open to camera. You could get a, you know, close-up of the head, medium, a wide angle, maybe a tracking shot, for example, if the shot works with that kind of thing. And you can basically give yourself a, you know, a basic manual, a guide, if you like, on how you can get, say, 30, 40, 50 shots every single time you go out and shoot. And it's much better to work from, you know, a pointer sheet than it is to just turn up with your camera with no plan and just go, oh yeah, let's just see what happens. Because it's really good to actually have these shots that you know you want to get for your project every time and have those ready, because otherwise, you know, let's say you don't do that and you go, you know, you get some good shots on the day, I'm sure, even if you are just improvising, but then you'll go ahead and you cut it all up and then you'll be thinking, oh damn, if only I just got that smiling to camera shot, or, you know, that close up of the eyes opening, or, you know, oh, I didn't get that shot with the mobile phone the way I wanted to, I didn't get the close up. And guys, if you just develop a shot list, you're going to get better content, you're going to get more content, and you know, you can really help to sort of plan your shoot out. And you know, if you've only got the model, say, for a set amount of time, you're going to be able to get more content filmed in that time than you would have had you not planned and just sort of turned up on the day and winged it. So coming in at tip number 4, guys, I want to talk about the journey here of stock footage. And when I say that, I'm talking about the quantity of your portfolio. So if you're really new to this and you're just getting in, chances are you've got a hard drive lying around somewhere where you've got some content from previous client work, from test shoots, etc., that you're currently cutting up for stock footage, and that's great. But obviously once you've gone through all of that, then the chances are you're probably then going to be looking for more stuff to shoot, or you know, you may be waiting until the next client job comes in that you can repurpose for stock. Well, something that you should try and do is actually say to yourself, okay, I've got 4 or 5 hours of time free every week, and what I can do is I can actually go out and shoot. So my goal is to get, say, 50, 75, 100, 200 clips a week for my stock footage portfolio and build that up over a year. So perhaps the best thing for you to do would be to set yourself like a yearly target, and then say, okay, well, every month I'm going to do X amount of stock footage clips, so that you've got a goal target, if you like, at the end of the year. And what that's going to allow you to do is then stay focused on that, and you're going to be able to build your portfolio up to a reasonably good size. One thing that puts a lot of new people off is that they'll put up, say, I don't know, 50, 100, 200 clips. They won't get any sales, or, you know, they'll get very few sales, and then they say, oh, well, this isn't really working out, it's not for me. this hasn't hit my expectations. But guys, this, I know it's cliche to say it, but this is a marathon, okay? It's not a sprint, and you do need to really, really work at building your portfolio up. I would strongly suggest that you aim for a portfolio of at least 2,000, if not more clips, before you really start to actually measure your results, and then sort of take it forward from there. But guys, don't get discouraged if you put up 50 or 100 clips and don't see much action, if any. Make sure that you keep building that portfolio up, set yourself targets and hold yourself accountable to deliver them. So coming in at tip number 5, guys, we've got keep an eye on trends. And what do I mean by that? Well, basically, guys, when a big thing emerges, say we're talking something like, for example, the iPad or the smartphone or virtual reality or Bitcoin or, a major world trend, something that's become mainstream, that's reported on in the media, that's used in advertising and all the rest of it, people who shoot stock footage of these things first are going to make more money than people who are shooting it sort of 5 years after it's come out. When the iPad was first released, a lot of astute shooters picked up the first edition of the iPad. They grabbed, some models with business suits on, some models with sports suits, etc. All of these different kinds of people from all walks of life. And they shot loads of iPad content, and that content is still shooting today. You see it all the time on TV, people using electronic devices. Something that's sort of come about much more in sort of 2017, 2018 moving forward is digital watches, smart watches, things where you've got like a screen on your wrist. That kind of content we're seeing much more demand for that now, and that's probably going to be something that will grow moving into 2018. It may die out. That does happen sometimes. You look at things like the iPod, for example, that now doesn't really sell at all because nobody uses iPods, and that whole trend has died off. But people who get into trends early, really, really good potential there to make yourself a lot of money shooting stock footage. Highly recommend that you look at doing that and keep your eye out for that kind of thing. And also think about, the next generations. So for myself, I'm part of the generation known as millennials, but the generation coming after me is Generation Z. And obviously they're much more technology savvy. And I think that moving forward, tech as a whole is only going to grow. I can't see it making, I can't see it declining. And probably stock footage in that niche is certainly going to grow along with it. Just off the top of my head, other things that are trending right now: hacking, big data, all of that kind of stuff that we see in the news, things that are trending, all of that kind of thing you can turn into stock footage, and there is demand for that out there. So that just about wraps us up for this video, guys. I really hope you found these tips useful. I am making this a series, like I said at the beginning, so hopefully you guys have got a lot of use out of this video. I will be making more, so please feel free to subscribe to the channel because it really does help when people do that. Give me the feedback, let me know what you think of this video, what you didn't like, what you did like. It'd be really good to sort of make more content that is useful to you guys. I love connecting with other stock footage shooters and sort of getting other ideas from other people as well. I've learned a hell of a lot myself by talking to the people who are watching my videos, learning how their workflows go, for example. So please feel free to get in touch there. Come and say hello on the Facebook group if you are interested in shooting stock footage. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Check out my other 2 videos where I go into my stock footage workflow and how I make money with stock footage through a company called Black Box. And again, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.